How's it going, everybody? Here we are, finally. I gave myself some time to recoup after the Montezuma campaign, final videos on the Montezuma campaign, which has allowed me to practice some of the Battle of the Conquerors scenarios, namely the first couple, first two more specifically, but nonetheless, I get to show you guys the first scenario in the Battle of the Conquerors. What I don't really know if I would call it a campaign, but a scenario menu we'll just go with. But first things first, I want to take care of this. I did give this guy a shout out in one of my Pokemon Blue walkthrough videos. This guy made my background for me, and so it's an awesome background, far superior to anything I could conjure up. And he makes his own videos, and he has his own page that he's getting going right now. I don't exactly know the types of videos. I mean, it's all live video production. He does filming himself, his friends. They make different movies, and he's a good filmmaker. He's a great editor. Has a lot of great ideas and very talented with that stuff. His channel is Core Studios Inc. I'll link that in the description. Check him out. Just wanted to give him a shout out, considering the first video of like a campaign or something on a walkthrough tends to get more views, so he'll get more publicity. So, for this first scenario, tours, it is a very simple scenario. All we have to do is kind of avoid the Moors and the Berbers, who are two enemies, and we have to bring the trade carts, 6 of the trade carts that are in Poitiers, I believe, is how you say it, up into Tours. It's Tours. I think that's how you say it. It's like it's French. Charles Martel is going to be in our brigade here, and we have to bring the 6 trade carts from Poitiers to Tours unscathed or not killed. So it's a simple one, and we're going to start by ignoring all those.
The Muslims are advancing slowly, but we will not have long before they are at the walls of Tours. Poitiers has fallen already.
Alright, yeah, so Poitiers has been taken by the Moors. It is a green city, as in the Moors have it. Berbers are over here. The Moors are right here. And what you have to do is get the trade carts up to your cathedral right there, which we'll be doing. And we're going to take kind of an indirect route to get back to Tours after being in Poitiers. Basically, you want to ignore everything. You have tons of farms. Tours is a big city. You can get drawn into making this a drawn-out battle and having to protect your town centers, the 3 town centers that you do have, or you can do it the quick, efficient way that I'm going to show you how to do, that you can do without even practicing this scenario once. You can just jump right into it, take care of the scenario like that. It's a very easy first scenario, and I wouldn't really even...
We have reached Poitiers. The Muslim baggage train is protected inside. If we can capture it, they will retreat back from whence they came. Alright,
so what you want to do is, ideally, you're going to get hit by some scorpions. There's a couple siege workshops right there. You want your throwing axemen to not take the brunt of the scorpion torpedoes, if you want to call them torpedoes. Rather, you want your knights, which are not really upgraded too much, but will be formidable for you. You want to keep 2 knights off to the side to kind of draw some attention from the oncoming Berbers and Moors that you will see. And you just got to be careful with these scorpions. You got to make sure you're taking down these scorpions right away as well. And I'm going to group these guys right now because they'll kind of be a decoy for me a little bit later on. And we lost a number of our knights so far. Not a big deal though, as long as we can get in through this gate before the cavalry arrives, and that's literally the cavalry. Alright. So you're going to want to sneak one of these knights that eventually takes down this scorpion down here to scout out those trade carts that you will see. And you can just battle these guys however you so please to do, and don't attack. That's one thing you don't want to do, is attack. Draw any attention from anybody else. Just try to stay away, don't attack any of the buildings. That's #1 priority for you. And make sure, okay. So here are trade carts, and hopefully they're far enough away.
Charles Martel in battle today. The Franks may keep fighting, but their hearts are no longer in it.
Alright, so we got a little attention from the Moors, or the Berbers, and I was not suspecting this whatsoever. So we're just going to have to run away, or else we will all die, and so will these trade carts. So what you want to do is you just want to run your knight wherever you want. I recommend going over here, because that way you can stay out of the way of their huge thundering herd of horses. And we're just going to send our guy all the way west. It's pretty much far enough away where we don't disturb them whatsoever. And you realize there's a castle here. That means it's essential for you to not come in that way at all, or else you'll lose your units. And you don't want to come in this way ideally either, because it's going to make it a little bit harder for you to get in with all the rigmarole laying around here, unless you want to use the stone wall and eventually get your trade carts out. So hopefully that was enough of a decoy. And the nice thing is, no matter what, once those cavalry of the Moors and the Berbers get distracted, they will go for the western side of your base. The nice thing is that you're going to be entering through the eastern side, so take note of that. You're going to be entering through the easternmost gate right here, next to this town, one of your town centers. And that never really gets assaulted whatsoever. And this guy is just running for his life. And I love you, Knight. You're going to win me this scenario right away. And YouTubers are going to love you too. I mean, you're going to be a hero in the YouTube community. Is that awesome? So we're going to run to the corners of the earth. And you can see that the Berbers kind of have a far-reaching, stretched-out camp. It's kind of how they're described. Same with the Moors. Kind of transient, nomadic. But they do have a powerful force of cavalry, but it's more of light cavalry. So hopefully that will distract them enough and they won't have some sort of queue on these trade carts, and they usually don't. But you at this point just want to follow the brick road, the white brick road that is, and on to Tours. That's simple. You realize you lost your army, and Charles Martel as well, which is a sad thing for considering we're going to have no Holy Roman Empire, but I'll be able to complete the scenario, which we all know is the most important thing. As long as I complete my scenario. No, just kidding. You know, that's the thing. Rescuing 6 trade carts is kind of a fluky way to fend off the Berbers and the Moors. I don't feel like it satisfies what would be realistic. We're not defeating the Moors or the Berbers. You want to stay away from this side of the graveyard because there's a Moorish guard tower over there. Run very quickly. I didn't stay away from it enough, apparently. And this guy is not showing up. There we go. So we got 2 guys that took kind of a blow. But that'll be okay, because you can take note, this is about as far as they'll go east, unless, you know, they take out all your walls and houses, which will be a bad thing if you wait that long. And they won't go all the way east to this gate. It would be kind of an issue if you couldn't even delete your walls at any point. And if you didn't have this gate, because that would be kind of dicey sneaking in there, but we don't have to deal with that issue whatsoever. You can even come on this side of the trees. I believe there's a gap there. Not sure, though. But that's it for Tours. It's such a joke of a scenario. If you have a problem with it, it's probably because you're taking too long. You're playing a drawn-out, turtling game, which is not what you want to do. Both your enemies have a strong initial army, which can be devastating against your villagers, your farmers out here, because you have an expansive farm. It's hard to manage. Farm management's tough stuff. And they came a little too late, and now this scenario is ours. So that is how you do it. That's how you sneak into Poitiers, get your trade carts, get what you need, and you're done. Scenario completed. Somehow they're victorious, even though Charles Martel's done, no Holy Roman Empire, and the Berbers and Moors are still full strength. Whatever. I get 6 trade cards. I'll let you guys watch this.
The soul of the Frankish army was its knights, but Charles Martel knew that his cavalry, undisciplined, buried under weight of weapons and armor, could not match the swiftness of the Moslem riders. Therefore, he ordered the knights to dismount and join ranks with the Frankish swordsmen to form a tight shield wall. The Moslems had always conquered with swift offensiveness and were not equipped to counter the Franks' defensive strategy. The arrows of the Moslem archers bounced harmlessly off the heavy Frankish armor, and the light Moslem cavalry could not breach the human chain. Battered and bleeding, the Moslems broke ranks and fled back to the Pyrenees and the protection of Spain. From Charles Martel's Frankish kingdom eventually grew the Holy Roman Empire, making him the founding father of both Germany and France.
So whether you like it or not, that's how you complete this first Battle of the Conquerors scenario that we'll be taking on. Obviously, you can probably get the trend that I'm taking on tour first, because it is the oldest battle of the Battles of the Conquerors. I'll be doing it in chronological order. So if you're wondering, I'm going to do Windislaga next, which is not too difficult either. But that's how you take care of it. Don't ask me why that completes the scenario. 6 trade cards doesn't seem like it does much to me, for me, even when I'm trading. I'll produce 12 trade cards in any, say, a Saladin scenario. It does nothing for me, but it completes the scenario in tour campaign, or tour scenario. Kind of a joke there, Ensemble Studios. Not a fan of this one, but I'll take it. Makes it a little bit easier on me as I get going in the Battle of the Conquerors. But you can tell right here, both your Berbers and the Moors vastly outnumber your army. So they do have a little bit of a cheaper army composed of light cavalry and camels and whatnot, but they will outman you and they will run over you, especially your economy early on. If you turtle too much and spread outside of your walls too much, that is. So just don't worry about the economy, economic stats, that is. They're not important if you play it my way. And might as well play it my way, unless you want to have some fun, which I don't always foster in my style of play. But that's it. So that's it for tour. I believe it's 1732, I believe is the year. Check that, and I'll see you guys next time in part 2 of the Battles of the Conquerors campaign in the second scenario, which is Windislaga, or will be the Vikings. See you later.